I have an F350 and F550 cabin chassis truck. The question is, if you're thinking about doing hot shot, does it make more sense to go to the F550 or should you just stick with the F350 cabin chassis? I borrowed these trucks from Kengar Ford here in West Valley City, Utah. They have a ton of inventory. And so if you're in the market, be sure to reach out to Ken. Let's go ahead and talk about the cab configurations really quickly, and then we're going to make our way around these trucks to see the differences. If you are looking at a crew cab, obviously both of these trucks have that availability. You can also get the super cab and a regular cab for the F550 and the F350. Now both of these trucks are in the XL trim. You also have an XLT and a Lariat trim available, so if you want more luxury, you have those options. And of course, if you want LED lights, those are available in those higher trims too. Now, when it comes down to the F550, I will go over the main reason why you would want to go with this type of truck, because there's just one huge benefit that it does have. Now, as far as the F350 goes, some people have, I won't say attacked me, but some people have said that I was wrong to say you should use an F550 for hot shot. And the reason why is because the F350 is a smaller truck. It has higher gearing, and overall, I mean, it's just going to be probably a little bit cheaper to maintain over the course of time. Which leads me into my first point. Yes, if you are considering hot shot, the F350 might be more beneficial for you because you do have a 17-inch wheel, and they do wrap these with Michelin tires. And here is the size, LT 245/75/17. And as far as the capacity of these tires go, I mean, they have good capacity. 3,195 pounds for single, and for dual, 2,910 pounds, 80 psi. And who can hate on Michelin tires? Solid front axle. Obviously, four-wheel drive is optional for both trucks. Now, obviously, this is why most people are going to go with the F550, not because of the tires, but because of this wide front track. So this is the main reason why most guys decide, if they're planning on doing hot shot, just to go all the way. That's why you have this larger fender flares, because this truck does have a wider axle. I think it's like 6 inches wider than what you get on the F350. So with that being said, you're going to have a better turning radius for a bigger truck. And it doesn't just stop there. They give you these commercial tires wrapped on these 19.5-inch wheels. If you want to see the size, it's 225/70, 19.5. And here is the capacity for the tires. These are G-rated tires. The Ford F350 had E-rated, so you have way more capacity. 3,970 pounds single, 3,750 pounds for dual, and 110 psi max psi for these tires. So commercial grade tires, and they're built for doing over-the-road work. Now let's go ahead and walk on back. One thing I love about the F350 is you still get the longer axle. Unfortunately, if you want to get a shorter one, they only have this available for the crew cab. Now, you still have the availability to have dual fuel tank for the Ford, and that is the case also for the F550 too. Now, the biggest advantage I think on the F550 is you can get this with a 60-inch cab to axle and an 84-inch cab to axle. So this is going to be the longer one, and the reason why that's good is obviously you have more options for bodies, but on top of that, it does give you a better ride with this longer wheelbase. And if you're towing, obviously having a longer wheelbase is going to give you better stability towing heavy trailers. So when it comes down to the leaf pack on the F550, this is definitely overbuilt. Look at the hangers here for these leaves. You see that? Now here it is for the F350 dually. I mean, still robust, don't get me wrong. This is a really robust suspension, but the Ford wins hands down. If you get a little bit closer, just take note of those leaves. Like, look how much thicker they are compared to. So you can definitely tell just how much more robust these leaves are. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the main pack here versus 10, I believe I counted. And then they have that one overload leaf spring on both sides too. The bump stops are also slightly different too. Now this truck is max tow for the F550 too, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, when it's all said and done, both trucks have really good features. As I mentioned, having the dual fuel tank is a big deal for some guys, especially if you're going long distance, and that's available for both sides. Now, one last thing to point out is both trucks are going to have the C-channel frame on the rear section, and when you go under the cab, they have that fully boxed frame, and that's going to be the exact same for the F550. So C-channel, and then as you go below the cab, it goes to a fully boxed frame. I just checked the rear ends, and they're the exact same for these trucks, 15 bolt, and that's going to be the exact same thing for the powertrains. Now, if you're looking at either truck, they're going to come standard with a 7.3 liter gas engine. It's going to be detuned. It's going to have 335 horsepower and 468 pound-feet of torque. You also have the detuned power stroke, which both of these trucks have. Now, these are going to have 330 horsepower, which comes on around 2200 RPMs, and 950 pound-feet of torque, which comes on around 1800 RPMs. The only difference is on these trucks is how you can gear the rear end. So on this Ford F350, for example, if you want max tow, it would be a 410 rear end. If you're looking at the gas engine, it would be a 430. As far as the F550 goes, if you want to get max tow, it would be a 430 rear end, which this truck has. Also for the gas engine, if you want max tow, it would be a 488 rear end. So those are the differences on the overall setup for the gearing, but the powertrains are otherwise the exact same. 10-speed transmission known as the 10R140 is behind the engines. And yeah, let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. Starting with the F350, the gross axle rating out front is going to be 5,990 pounds. The rear is actually a little bit higher than what you get on a regular F350. It's 10.3, and then 14,000 pound gross fuel weight rating, 17 by 6.5 wide wheels. Let's go ahead and check it out for the F550. The front gross axle weight rating is going to be 7,000 pounds. The rear is higher than the gross fuel weight rating of the F350 at 14,706 pounds. Insane. Gross fuel weight rating is going to be 19.5. And you guys see right there, the wheels are 19 by 6 wide. So that's why you would get an F550 if you need payload, right? If you plan on putting a really big body on this truck and you still need to tow a big trailer, that's why you would get the F550, along with getting the wider front track, the more beefed up rear suspension and axle, and of course the commercial grade tires. So I would say towing capacity would be higher on the F350, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think the F550 might have way more towing capacity as well. Let's go ahead and check online, and then that'll pretty much end the video. I figured I'll show you guys pricing first. So this is going to be for 2025. F350 XL starts at $54,505. And just take note of the XLT and Lariat. Now for the F550, base price is going to be $58,690. So that's a price difference of $4,185. And if you want the 203-inch wheelbase, well, this is going to be an additional $175. Here's some tire pricing for the F350 for the Michelins. This is TireEasy.com. Never heard of them before, but $335.99 is what they have the tires for. For the F550, they have them priced at $369.17. So I do know most guys who get the F550, they normally upgrade the tires that are on there because they don't like them. So you could have a higher price for your tires depending on your thoughts on what they're adding onto these trucks from the factory. So just keep that in mind. Lastly, here is the towing capacity. I'm only going to show you the 410 for the F350 and diesel. Here's your gross combined weight rating. So this is for conventional towing. For four-wheel drive is 17.5. Then down below here, 410 for the fifth wheel is going to be 25.6. And for the 410 down here, 25.7 for the gooseneck. Now for the F550, 430, and you can get maximum 43,000 pound gross combined weight rating. So this truck, whether you get the 179 or the 203 cab to axle, 18.5 for conventional, 33.4 for the 179, and then 203 is 33.1, and then gooseneck is here at 33.5 and 33.3. So no competition for the towing capacity. I mean, you can pretty much tell if you need to tow heavy, yes, the F550 is truly the way to go when you're comparing the numbers. Before I end off the video, I just want to show you guys the interior really quickly. This is a work truck model, so just keep that in mind. This one has the vinyl flooring, no telescoping steering wheel. They do give you a nice readout, 8-inch screen there. And I haven't had a chance to show this, so you guys can see this does have the workstation here. And you can only get this with the 6-passenger trucks. But I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to check out King Garb's inventory. They have a ton of trucks, as I said. I might do a quick video on that F350 Limited right there, because I want to see what they can give on discount on that. So yeah, be sure to check out their inventory. Ask for Ken. See you guys soon.